Saturday morning brought a light westerly for the start of JOG's race to Yarmouth, but with a strong flooding tide that caught out several competitors, including Salamander, which crossed the line backwards before the gun, then had to fight the tide to restart. The junior offshore group held 2 inshore races this weekend. On Saturday they raced around a Solent course to finish in Yarmouth, with a return race on Sunday. 13 boats started in Class 5, heading east with the tide. The race to Yarmouth took nearly 4 hours for most of this fleet, with Domain leading them home in 3 hours 41 minutes. On corrected time though, Buster took the win, just 15 seconds ahead of Growling Cougar, with Shadowfax taking third. "11 boats started in Class 4, with Greased Lightning at the front of the pack, but slow to hoist a spinnaker. Alaris took line honours in this fleet after 3¼ hours, 19 seconds ahead of Fay J. But on corrected time the positions were reversed, with Fay J taking the win by just over a minute. No Doubt took third in this class, just 19 seconds adrift. Class 3 had 14 starters, and again some were caught outside the outer distance mark by the tide, sweeping them to the east. NJOS led the fleet across the finish line in just over 3 hours and saved their time on handicap to win by nearly 4 minutes from pure attitude. Oxygen 3 came home third. On Sunday in the return race, NJOS again won Class 3, while J2O won Class 4 and Shadowfax took the honours in Class 5. The third round of the Cowes Keelboat Solent Series was run by the Royal Yacht Squadron this weekend. On Saturday the 13 Darings were first away in sunshine, a nice westerly breeze and a west-going tide that caught out some, including number 14 Dancer, which was over and didn't return, and Dynamite, who had an encounter with the outer distance mark, which resulted in them doing turns. Number 6 Finesse had a good start and picked up the narrow jet stream of tide off the green, but as a feature of the early inshore ebb, to streak into the lead. The course sent them west to Gurnard Ledge, then across the tide to Quinell on the mainland shore, before beating west again to Peters and May. From there they ran against the tide to Royal Thames, before a short beat to East Leap and a reach across the tide to the finish. It was a 2¼ hour race for the leaders, but at the finish only 1 second separated Division Bell from Dido in second, with Darius just over 2 minutes adrift in third. The Dragons mustered 5 boats for their race over the same course as the Darings. Their start was nowhere near as good, with only 2 boats near the line on the gun, despite the favourable tide. Dilemma and Ecstatic led the way west ahead of Cavalier and Thunder. At this stage, Njord had a bit of ground to catch up after her poor start. When we saw them next on the reach across the tide, Njord had made her way up to second behind Ecstatic, but despite doing all they could to pass, it was Ecstatic which won the race by 23 seconds from Njord, and with Dilemma taking third. 4 X1 designs came to the line, although Aora was too keen and found herself over, which was a bad place to be in the strong favourable tide. As the rest shot away to the west, Aora had to make a slow return to the line. Jonathan Nash's Rachel was the early leader, with Merlin working hard to close her down, and Curlew holding third. Eventually, Merlin's pressure paid off, and they took a lead they would hold to the finish. Rachel held on to second, but Aora was eventually able to catch Curlew and take a hard-earned third place. On Sunday, the wind had switched to a chilly easterly, and the sun hid itself away for most of the day. Starts were to the east today, and the Dragons were first away, on a long beat to North Ryde Middle and then on to Peel Bank. Only 2 dragons came out to play, and their 2.5-hour race was a procession, which was won by Njord, over 7 minutes ahead of Cavalier. Let's hope the dragon fleet turns out in greater numbers soon. The 8-boat Daring fleet was next away on the same course as the dragons. By the time they got to their furthest mark east, Peel Bank, the tide was strengthening and the wind was dropping, making it a difficult rounding. Dolphin had the best of the day, winning by 28 seconds after a 2.5-hour race. In second was Dynamite, with Finesse taking third. In the X-boat fleet, Rachel got the best start and headed inshore to get out of the building tide, with the others comfortably to leeward. Aora tacked off, while Rachel and Merlin carried on inshore. On their beat east, Merlin passed Rachel, and Aora slipped back, and they finished in that order after a 2-hour race. That's all for this week. Next week we'll have news from the first round of the Red Funnel Cowes Keelboat Championship, the Monches Cup, and the Contessa 32 Regatta. See you then.